Councilwoman Quiñones-Sánchez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tomorrow and Saturday, I will be traveling to New York City to join a historic convening of Puerto Rican elected officials and leaders from across the country. The reason why? There is a humanitarian crisis in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico faces a $73 billion deficit, a deficit created by United States tax policy, a deficit created by rules of financial mismanagement on policies by the United States of America. I know many of my colleagues have seen commercials about don't bail Puerto Rico out and its bankruptcy. I must remind everyone that in this council chamber, we debated the issue of hedge funds and swaps at the school district. As a city, we divested from some of these bad investment policies. These hedge fund predators who bought debt at 20 cents and want to collect a dollar need to be held off. They're the ones funding, and in many cases buying, Congress's inactions. And we've seen that time and time again in this chamber. How does that impact Philadelphia? How does it impact Pennsylvania? How does it impact the rest of the country? There are 10,000 Puerto Ricans leaving the island every month, and they will end up in our schools, and they will end up in our communities. As we said to Congress several months ago when I joined 1,000 Puerto Ricans in lobbying Congress, and many of our own folks in the local delegation, Senator Casey and others, as we lobbied around, we said, you're either going to help Puerto Rico deal with their issues in Puerto Rico, or you're going to deal with it in your own backyards. We need to stop this, and we need bankruptcy protection. Puerto Rico had bankruptcy protection until 1985, and one of those late-night, cumbersome financial deals, someone took out our ability to do that. It's one of those things that we don't watch because it's a 1,000-page document. We're not asking for what we didn't have, and we're not asking for a bailout, but we're asking for the ability to restructure our debt like every single city and every single state across the country has the ability to do. Part of the discussion this weekend will be about what happens at the Democratic Convention here and the Republican Convention in Ohio, both states that have over 400,000 Puerto Ricans who will be watching and making a difference, both states who will be critical for who becomes president. I thank my council colleagues for always supporting my cause, and when I've asked for their support in sending a united message that Puerto Ricans, American citizens, deserve the ability to manage themselves. This is proof, as it's debated at the Supreme Court, that Puerto Rico is a colony, and this illegal relationship with the United States has to be dealt with. But it will not be dealt with until we can deal with this financial crisis. Ironically, we passed a bill in Puerto Rico, or the legislature in Puerto Rico, that in 2022, it's called the Law of 2022, if you live in Puerto Rico for 185 days, you will pay no federal taxes. So we have a deliberate divestment, and then new people coming in and buying. So for who? It feels like our neighborhood gentrification. My poor island nation struggles. It's a colony, and it struggles to survive. We've asked all of the presidential candidates to take a position of this. Trump said he hated Puerto Ricans because they were the worst Mexicans. Tells you where he's at. Bernie Sanders has been more progressive, and yesterday, in my 45 seconds with Hillary Clinton, I pleaded for Puerto Rico. I will do that this weekend. I will do it in Ground Zero in Philadelphia in July, where we hope that Puerto Rican leaders from across the country come here and remind folks that Puerto Rico is part of the United States, and we will help it on the island, or we will help it in our backyards. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman.